an NPC.
Life's rough
When you depend on me
to give you weapons, items, armor, information for your journey, and still you still push in and try to hurt me. Life's tough
When you're an NPC.
Life's rough.
When you depend on
Tanner? Hey Tanner, buddy. We haven't seen you in days. Where are you? See him? Oh my god. What happened to him? Christ. Tanner. Tanner, come on. Jeez. It's over there. Jeez, you alright, Tanner? Hey, are you okay?
Cthulhu, Flatagan, Raya, Cthulhu, Flatagan.
The hell was that?
The fuck are you two doing here?
It's been weeks, dude. Where have you been? What's on your face?
Let me go towel off real quick.
Yeah, you do that. Oh.
Sorry about that.
So, like, what happened?
I mean, I was doing another review for my website, and I didn't know when I started. I just didn't know. It was by the Darth Vader of RPGs himself.
No, you don't mean
I do.
him?
Monty Cook!
No, Tanner, you can't!
I do, I must. For my fans, I must do it.
Oh. Alright. Okay. Just fucking keep in touch, man. See you, man. Don't do that.
So Monty Cook. There was any game creator in the RPG world that is the representation of the Sith Lord himself, it is Monty Cook. A man who started out with so much promise and so much potential, who then joined the dark side of the Force when he signed on with Wizards of the Coast, to later actually find some meaning of redemption after he left the company. Essentially, whenever Monty Cook signed on with Wizards of the Coast and created 3rd edition D&D, he opened up some of the darkest and bleakest days in pencil and paper RPG history. The D20 Open Gaming License. Sure, it wasn't all bad. All things considered, Cook is one of the most influential writers since Gary Gygax. Thanks to the D20 Open Gaming License, this allowed most franchises to use the D20 system without worrying about copyright and copyright infringement. Thanks to this system, we had a slew of hundreds of games that used the D20 Open Gaming License, which crafted role-playing games for an entire generation. All of which is well and good if you do not take into account the fact that the D20 Open Gaming System is pretty abjectly terrible. I'm not necessarily saying that the D20 system is the worst system to ever exist. However, I will say that it is a good system for miniature mini-map fighting and a terrible system when it comes to actual role-playing. You see, capitalism sort of took over here. Wizards of the Coast had the nasty dollar signs in their eyes whenever they saw the money that Warhammer 40k was making on miniature sets. So, whenever 3rd edition was coming around the corner, Wizards of the Coast wanted to make sure that miniatures were not only beneficial to the game, but was an absolute essential aspect of D&D. So Cook & Company created the D20 system for the sake of making miniatures an essential aspect of the D&D experience. Thanks to that, you can sell hundreds of thousands of miniatures, dice, books, and pads to thousands upon thousands of nerds out there. 3rd edition D&D is a story for another day, but long story short, the game was horrible and broken to boot. Cook & Company released an essentially broken game that was a shadow of its former self. AD&D was now a distant memory in our minds that would not be relived until 5th edition comes out some odd decades later. 3rd edition was so broken that they had to come out with 3.5 in order to make the game even playable, and then even 3.5 was later revamped with Pathfinder. And that wasn't even that great in retrospect. But the essential part of the story here is that 3rd edition and 3.5 and the open gaming system created a slew of different games that did not have miniatures in their mechanics, nor were suited for a miniature fighting game. This is where the subject of today's episode comes into play. Call of Cthulhu is one of the most popular games in the world. The game, based on Lovecraftian mythos and horror, has seen its fair share of adaptations over the years. But that still does not discount the fact that it has seen a significant fan base all over the world. The game is a perfect blend of investigation and intrigue, a delve into the macabre and insanity. It is a game that perfectly blends role-playing, thought-provoking fun, as well as watching your friends' characters go mind-numbingly insane. But, if there is one thing that Call of Cthulhu is not, it is not combat. Here's the thing about Lovecraftian mythos and horror in all versions. You do not want to fight what is around the corner. Hell, you don't even want to see it. You can go mind-babblingly insane just looking at some of these things in Call of Cthulhu. Even relatively small things like zombies and vampires are bad fucking news, and you would almost need an entire military squad in order to adequately take care of it, and even then, you're still taking casualties. And when it comes to these big motherfuckers, your Colors Out of Space, your Dark Youngs, your Joels, and so forth, don't even think about it. And to the fucking gods like Azathoth, Cthulhu, Hastur, and so forth, don't even look for a second or you will end up wearing your underwear on your head and eating your own shit. Of all the games in the world that is completely incompatible with a fighting system like the D20 system, it's Call of Cthulhu. It's the holy fucking grail as far as unplayable for the D20 system. But, lo and behold, here we are. Not only did the D20 system get a hold of Call of Cthulhu, but Wizards of the Coast themselves got a hold of this. And guess what? It was Monte Cook who they put in charge to make this lifeless shell of a recreation of Call of Cthulhu. The funny thing is the fact that this game does have some merit to it. It does have, without a doubt, some of the best artwork I have ever seen for any Call of Cthulhu game. The mythos is also there too. There was clearly someone there that had read Lovecraftian horror and kind of at least got the general concept. This is a case of a game that is completely ruined by a dice system that is incompatible with the story it is trying to take. It's even more upsetting whenever you actually look in the book and just see how far these stats have taken and just spit in the face of what was originally one of the best concepts for a role-playing game. First off, look at this shit. Look at all of these unkillable monsters that would have ended investigators in days if they had even sniffed one of their farts. But now, they have stats. They have challenge ratings. They are 100% killable. Not only that, they're killable by people at a level 1. Level 1! What the fuck? Okay, and sure, a lot of them are exceptionally hard to kill, and they come with insanity checks as well. That's all well and good, but the old adage goes, if you stat it, they will kill it. There are things that should not be statable, and they're all statable in this book. This is the antithesis of what Call of Cthulhu is all about. Call of Cthulhu is about delving into what cannot be seen, or what should not be seen. It's about seeing how far you can push yourself before you lose your damn mind and you have a psychological break. It isn't about fighting these creatures. It isn't even about taking a full action to walk 60 feet and draw your weapon. This is... Wait. No. They didn't. No. But... Yep. They did it. They statted fucking Cthulhu. 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 They fucking statted Cthulhu. No. No. You go back into your room and you think about what you did. Cthulhu is not a statable situation. Cthulhu is, you see him, you lose. The game. It's over. Done. You are finished.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
This is it. There's no coming back from this. I mean, here's the thing. This game would not have been good if you had removed the gods and deities section from this thing. It wouldn't have been. It would have been Bad, but livable. Fine. Okay. You can kill things like Negos and Byaku's and Dark Youngs, things like that. Fine. Whatever. But whenever you get to the gods and deities section to see that Azathoth is challenge rating 50, that Cthulhu is statted, that Hastur is statted, that all of these gods, these fucking gods that are not killable, that if you even see a sliver of them, then you instantly die in the Call of Cthulhu game. That's it. That's the nail in the coffin. It is done. This thing is buried or it is cremated and its ashes are scattered to the quantum fucking winds. I cannot put the entirety of blame on Monty Cook, seeing as how he probably had a team of capitalists telling him to sell, sell, sell. But ultimately his name is on the book that is often considered one of the worst mainstream games in recent history. It is the perfect example of how a dice system can make or break a game. In this case, it takes a brilliant concept of dread and fear with a perfectly constructed mythos and ruins it with a system that is engineered to be a miniature battle game. Bottom line, this is easily a miss. One of the easiest misses I've had to do so far. So, I'm going to go and clean the rest of this shit off of my face and hope that takes away from the fact that I read this book a second time. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.
Life's tough,
When you're in PC.
life's rough.
When you depend on me.
To give you weapons, items, armor, information for your journey and skill, you still push it and try to hurt